is good, YouTube? It's your boy YB back at it with another video. How y'all doing? What's up? What's happening? It's Christmas time, y'all. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to all of you guys watching the video. Hope you guys are spending time with your families, because this is exactly the time of year, and especially this is the year to spend as much time with your families as possible, so please make sure y'all doing that. Today we're going to talk about 5 things that I think we could take away from 2020. Although it's been a terrible, bad year, there's always things that we can learn, always things that we can take away from the year to improve ourselves, and these are some of the things that I personally have thought of. So I'm gonna just be giving you guys my opinions, and hopefully you guys can relate to some of them. I've put together a list of 5 things to take away from the year that I've personally thought of, and I've personally, decided that, hey, this is gonna be a lesson that I take out of the year, because I think every year, every tough situation, everything in general can provide a lesson for you and can provide something that you can gain from. So I'm just gonna be talking about my opinions on some things that I've learned, and we're gonna hop right into the video, yeah? And as always, guys, if you guys like the video, please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, turn on those post notifications. We're gonna be going hard all 2021, and we're gonna be doing all types of brand new things. Especially if you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to stick around. We got some exciting things coming. Stay tuned. So the first takeaway that I've gotten out of 2020 is that mental health is extremely important, guys. Mental health has been the most important thing regarding 2020, I feel like. Although the year has been so attacked and brutally beat down by a physical illness, I think a lot of people suffered more mentally than physically. All the stress of worrying about, the illness, what's gonna happen with that? Is there ever gonna be a cure? People going back to work, not working, people not being able to pay bills, people struggling to pay rent. All these type of things I feel like affected every single person mentally way more than it ever did physically. Mental illnesses are extremely prominent in today's society, and I feel like before this year it wasn't talked as much of. Maybe it's because I'm really young, but I feel like I've never heard too much about people talking about how mental illness, how to fix that issue, how to fight mental illness or fight, anxiety or things along those lines. And I think the pandemic brought out a whole new wave of people understanding that their mental health is just as important, if not even more important, than their physical health. The year that we just had, although it was crazy and unpredictable and detrimental for a lot of people's lives, like, it's still a year that we experienced. That was a whole year. 2020 was a year that happened in our lives, and although it was bad, although it was tough, that's a year we're never gonna get back. Life doesn't stop for anything, man. Any issue, any situation, it just doesn't stop. And I think it's up to us to realize that and to take, hey, although we had a crazy year, we still gotta make the best of this year that we were given, because that's a year of our lives that is now gone. 2020 is wrapping up. There's no more 2020 next week, 2 weeks from now. That's a year gone. And I think for me personally, I took for granted, I took the pandemic as a year of, hey, everything's going to shit. Let's not worry about anything else. Let's just focus solely on this issue. And for me personally, I don't know how you guys personally believe or feel, I just feel like that's the wrong mentality to go into it. For me, I just, now looking back, wish that I had taken full advantage of this pandemic, and I started realizing that, the last couple months of the year, that hey, although everything's going on, that's still life. Things are still going on, things still have to get done, there's still goals that I want to reach and things I want to accomplish, and I should not have allowed this pandemic to dictate whether or not how far I get. Bottom line, throughout your life, there's going to be issues coming at you every single year, every single month, all the time. There's going to be issues. There's no faultage in issues going on, and that's going to happen in your life. And I just believe taking time and using those issues as an excuse not to get something done or not to continue moving forward with your life or living how you want to is kind of, in a sense, wasting time. Think about all the time that you sat in your room during quarantine and just ignored every other issue or every other thing you wanted to get done just because of, the pandemic. Not saying that's not a big issue, but I just feel like, for me personally, looking back now, I should have used my time more wisely and thought about, hey man, these are still days of my life that are gone, regardless of what's going on in the world. So I think that's the bottom line for that little topic right there. The next thing that I've taken away from 2020 is that a real job, or a safe job, isn't always as safe as it seems. Throughout the past, I've heard, go to college, get a job, and it's safe. That's, as safe as it can get. Things are gonna be secure. You're always gonna get paid. Blah 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 blah. But I think most people have discovered that, at least during this pandemic, a safe job isn't always as safe. There's always something that can happen, and no matter what, a second source of income is extremely important. Think of all the people that went to school, did years and years and years in college, got their job, was having lots of success, and then out of nowhere this pandemic hits and they lost their entire job. Think about that. Like, that kind of stuff can happen with or without a pandemic. You could lose your job for any reason. And I think the narrative behind 9 to 5 being super safe should not always, be that big old narrative. I think there should be more added on to that. I've seen countless people, countless adults lose their jobs, not have any job to fall back on, and now they're just in this abyss of I can't find the job, there's no money. Now, so like, what do you do after that point, right? It's like, and for me, I've kind of, had that mentality for maybe a couple months before everything that started happened. But just seeing this pandemic really solidified that belief in myself, because of all that went down, man. Think about all the people that lost their jobs, lost everything that they've worked so hard for. Not always a 9 to 5 is gonna be as safe as it seems. And I know YB, yes, this was an extreme case that might never happen again. But I still feel like, in a sense of safety, it is as safe as you can go. A 9 to 5 is as safe as you can go. But to have that be your sole source of income, and if you lose that, your whole livelihood can be in jeopardy, I just think that there has to be more to that. There has to be something else that you give yourself, something else that you bring to the table to earn income, because as we've seen, anything can happen. So yeah, a job isn't always as safe as it seems, and I just feel like from 2020 has taught me that you need something else in the background just in case something goes wrong, just in case the worst of the worst happens. You're not solely dependent on this one source of income. Now, the fourth takeaway I've gotten from 2020 is the importance of living in the moment and appreciating everything that comes with that. Who would have thought that any of this happened? Who? Nobody would have ever imagined something along this magnitude would ever happen to us, but it happened. And for me, something that I've taken away was appreciating the little things, the things I took for granted before all the stuff that happened. Simple things like going to a movie theater, simple things like walking around a mall, simple things like walking outside without having to wear a mask. Like, just think about that. A year ago, that's something that wasn't even in our minds. That was something that we never even would have thought would happen. Walking around with masks all day long. That's crazy. But yet, it happened. And it is happening as we speak. And for me personally, I've just discovered a brand new appreciation for things that I've never had in the past. Simple things like going to the deli and buying some food without having to cover my face up. That's something that we all took for granted. Little things, man. Going outside to play basketball with your friends, playing in an indoor court. Oh my God, you guys have no idea how much I miss playing basketball indoor. And to just see little things like that taken away from a person, or taken away from a whole world, a whole community of people, not being able to do simple things that they normally would be able to, is crazy. And it just shows how much we take for granted, in a sense. And that saying is true, man. Live in the moment, because you never know what tomorrow grants you, or tomorrow what's gonna bring for you, because you just never know what tomorrow can happen. Today could be your last day. You just don't know that yet. And I've really gone to appreciate, every single day and every single moment, and try to take advantage of every single day, every single moment, because I know that anything miraculous can happen. As we've seen already, crazy things can happen in a blink of an eye. I don't think we even remember the time without mask. Like, it's hard to remember. Go back and think about the last time you didn't have to wear a mask before go outside. It's super hard to think about that. And my bottom line for this is, for me, just enjoy the life. Enjoy every single moment. Enjoy everything that life brings to it. Enjoy every smile, every laughter, every tear, every blood, every drop of sweat, all of it. Just enjoy life, because you just never know when it can can stop, you know. And for so many people, it did stop for crazy, crazy reasons, and it's extremely unfortunate, you know, that we had to go through something like this in a blink of an eye. But although crazy things happen, they teach us lessons. And for this one, I think this one might be my most important lesson learned of 2020, or my most important takeaway of 2020, is to just appreciate everything that I have right in this instant. Enjoy everything that I have right in this instant, because who knows what happens in 20 minutes, 30 minutes, in an hour, tomorrow, next week, next month. Who knows what can happen? So I'm just really trying to take advantage of every opportunity and every moment I get, because who knows when it's gonna be my last. And last but certainly not least, my last takeaway from 2020 was the importance and the power of spending alone time. Because I'm quarantined, unfortunately, a lot of us had to spend some time alone indoors, in their rooms, you know, kind of just within their own thoughts. You know, we kind of immersed ourselves in technology and our phones and TV to trying to distract ourselves from the overall picture of everything that was going on. And I hope a lot of us took some time to, you know, actually be alone, like within your thoughts, because I've learned quite a lot of things about myself just sitting down in a room thinking. And in the past, I've kind of shied away of just sitting down and just thinking about things, because a lot of times, I don't know if it's just me, but you know, if you're just sitting down, a lot of times thoughts go the wrong direction. Especially at night, when you're just sitting alone at night, you start thinking about whoopity weird doopity things. And you know, for me during this quarantine, sitting down and actually embracing those thoughts and really thinking about them like deeply kind of like changes your view set on yourself. I discovered that being alone is actually kind of cool. You know, you don't have to deal with the stress of anybody else. You don't have to worry about anything but your own self or your own well-being. And spending some time alone in my room, just reminiscing about good old times, reminiscing about times before everything that's gone by, taking the time to get away from technology a little bit, get away from all the issues, is very, very important for yourself and your mental being. And I think even after quarantine, like after all this, you know, flies by, after everything is set up together, I think I still will be taking some time to myself just to think and to just focus on myself and my inner thoughts, because that's a part of having a strong mentality. Oftentimes during, you know, everything that was going on, I often stood in my backyard and just sat there and, you know, listened to the birds chirp, listening to the wind rustling. You know, that's something that, especially living in New York, you don't get to hear often. You know, if you're in New York City, you guys know there's buses, trains, sirens, everything. New York City is a loud place, but during everything, we got a lot of quiet. And I, for one, realized that taking advantage of that quiet and being in your own space and really focusing on yourself is so, so, so important. So even after everything is done, I'm still gonna try to do my best to find some time alone for myself and to just think and just focus on what I want to do and focus on my life. You know, think about it. Thinking about your future is also a great thing to do in this space. And just relax, man, and just relax and understand that you are you and this is this. So guys, those are my 5 takeaways of 2020. I hope you guys can all take something away from the takeaways, if that really even makes any sense. I hope you guys get something out of all of this. And at the end of the day, I just hope that people heard what I said and take some time to think about it. Take some time to think about some of their takeaways of 2020. And I would really like to hear what are some of you guys' takeaways. You know, if you guys have had any lessons learned, any things that you've come to conclusions about during this whole crazy year, I would love to hear about it. Let me know down below. So if y'all can do that, let me know one thing you guys have learned from 2020 or one takeaway you guys have for 2020. Let me know. I want to hear. I want to see what's up, and I'll talk back to you. So as always, guys, thank you guys for making it to the end of the video. I appreciate all of it. Appreciate all the support. And again, I hope you guys got something out of the video. So again, if you like anything, comment down below, subscribe, hit the post notification button, and definitely share. You know, show my message and show the things that I'm thinking about to other people, other friends, family, etc. And I hope you guys have a good holiday, man. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out and spend some time with your family. Do it. I'll see ya.